Hey guys, how are you? Okay, masterclass. Today we are going to look something very important. And as a learner, as a student, as a startup entrepreneur, it is very important that you have to keep a very close eye, understanding, and expertise on the subject what we are going to discuss today. We are going to talk something about conflict. Yes, it is a very controversial topic, but it is a very important topic. If two people are involved, obviously there will definitely be a difference of opinion. This difference of opinion will definitely contribute to what is called as a conflict. Please note, a conflict is not only referring to fights. A conflict will also be referring to what is called a difference of opinion or the poison tree which is actually growing inside, things like that. So, if we are talking about organization, if we are talking about as a management consultant, as a strategic management consultant, when we go to organization and when organization actually call us for resolving few of their conflicts or to build a framework which can address the conflict system, conflict addressing system. This is planning for something negative doesn't mean we are thinking negative. We are actually thinking very positive so that when the negative things are happening, the system will take care of that. So, in this masterclass, what we are going to look at are very methodical understanding of the conflict, how it comes, and what are all the things that we are going to look towards the conflict system. So, basically, we are going to understand what a conflict as per the understanding. I wouldn't use a word called definition. Definition will become completely theoretical, but we will use a word called understanding. There are traditional understanding and there are interaction based understanding also. So we will see what are all the differences between uh, the traditional understanding of what a conflict is and interaction based understanding of what a conflict is. So this is one. So when we understand what a conflict is, we will also understand what are all the process by which we can identify different stages of the conflict process. It is important to compartmentalize and then we understand how the conflict system actually works, conflict process actually works, so that we can decode and solve it as early as possible. So there are types of conflicts. So because as we said, the conflict can happen based on two people, conflict can happen based on situation, conflict can happen based on other things. So there are types of conflict. So we will try to understand what are all the types of conflicts which are predominantly described. There is no hard and fast. This is how it is like that. Okay, this is something as a reference guide. Okay, so that we are going to see, and we are going to see what is the loci of the conflict. What is the locus point? How can you identify the center point of the conflict? Very important subject. And then we are going to understand how we can actually come out of the conflict. Okay, so this is how this entire masterclass is planned. So when we are talking about the first, when we are talking about conflict, a conflict what we can actually look into can be described, okay, as it is not actually a definition, but we can actually define it in some way to our understanding. A process that begins when one party perceives that the other party has negatively affected or is about to be negatively affected or something that the party first cares about. Very simple. I'm expecting some kind of a result. But the other party is actually behaving in a different way, which is affecting that particular result. What happens? There is a misunderstanding, and uh, uh, there is actually inconvenience which is created, and that is termed as conflict. Very simple. That's all. See, conflict is, again, it is transactional. It involves two people, or it involves the situation. Okay. Again, it should have another person, so that like we have a conflict. It can also be conflict of interest. There are a lot of subjective conflict enunciations which are there. We are going to for now skip those things. Okay, so I hope you guys are with me right till now. Okay, so let us go into the views. I told you that there is a traditional understanding of a conflict, and there is an interaction based understanding of the conflict. So when we are talking about the traditional understanding of the conflict, it is believed that all the conflict is harmful and it should be avoided. Whenever we talk about conflict, we have our own understanding that conflict is bad, it is negative, it is harmful, and hence it has to be avoided. But the interactionist view of conflict, the belief that conflict is not only a positive force in a group, but also an absolute necessity. There is a view for that also. I will tell you how it is. Because see, there are two things which are in one is a function based conflict, a functional conflict. So the conflict that supports the goals of the group and improves the performance. It becomes like an intrapersonal competition. So if you can achieve this target, I can achieve more. So it is a positive reinforcement of stress, which can be considered as a conflict, and which can be used in a positive way to boost somebody's performance. What is the other thing? The other thing is the dysfunctional conflict. Dysfunctional conflict is the conflict that hinders the group performance. That is dysfunctional. That matches with the traditional view. Which actually says that conflict is understood as a bad element and it should be avoided. I will repeat, the interactionist view of conflict has two segments or sections. One, it is considered as positive, which is called the functional conflict. The reason why it is considered as positive is that it supports the goal of the group and improves the performance. The other thing is a dysfunctional conflict, and that is considered to be harmful. Okay, so now we know what a conflict is. Now we know how a conflict can be viewed from a traditional point of view and a dysfunctional point of view, or interactionist point of view. Now we should understand the loci of the conflict, or where exactly the point of the conflict can be originated or it can be understood. Okay, so there are three types of conflicts. There are three types of conflicts which can be segmented. Okay, the first is the task conflict over the content, over the goals, over a transaction, all those things. The second is the relationship conflict, where it's quite, it explains by itself. Relationship conflict is based on interpersonal relationship. And the third is the process conflict over how a work is getting done. Please remember, we are talking only about the business perspective here, only the organization perspective here. That is why I started this video saying that the personal fights, those conflicts are not part of it. This is purely organizational conflict, and how we can understand it, how we can address it, how we'll be able to take care over the precaution, as a precaution, how framework can be created. Okay, so this is quite easy to understand. Just to give you another this thing, there are three types of conflict which are there. One is the task conflict, which is basically based on the task. The second is the process conflict, and the third is the relationship conflict. These are quite very easy to understand. Task, I don't think that we need to go deeper into this, because it is self-explanatory. But what is so important, which we will discuss in detail, is the loci of the conflict, or how to understand the center point of the conflict, or the root cause of the conflict. The loci of the conflict, okay, can also be understood in three ways. Okay, the first is the conflict which occurs between two people, person number one and person number two. That is actually termed as dyadic conflict. Dyadic conflict. Okay, the dyadic conflict is conflict between two individual people. Okay, only two person is involved. What is the next? There is a group of people and there is another group of people. So there is a conflict between two groups. That is called intergroup conflict. Okay. The first is two individual. It is called dyadic. The second is two groups. That is called intergroup conflict. And the third is there is only one group and the fight is inside that group. So it is called intra-group conflict. Okay, so there are three types of conflict when we are understanding the loci of the conflict. Well, okay, in that perspective, there are three types. One is dyadic. Dyadic is two individual person, and the second is intergroup. Two groups are there, and there is a conflict between group number one and group number two. And the third is intra-group, a conflict inside the group itself. Only one group is there, lot of people are there, and inside that group, conflict is there. So that is called as intra-group conflict. Okay, so if we are able to decode the conflict in such a way, as I said, this is a part which I will be dealing with in a detailed way, because conflict can also be told like a story. But understanding the conflict, you need to know what exactly is the center point, how this conflict is unfolding. Okay, so in that, keeping that in mind, we have to understand the conflict process. The process image will come in the screen so that you can actually follow what I am telling right now. It is very easy to follow. Okay, so the first block of that particular conflict initiation is a potential opposition or an incompatibility. You need an opposition for creating a conflict, or you need a situation which is not favorable to create a conflict. Without that, the conflict will not come. So what is the first process? You need, stage one is the potential opposition or incompatibility has to be there. What are all the ways that it can come? Either it can come in the form of communication, in form of some other structure, or in form of personal variables. Very, very, very easy to understand. If you need a problem, somewhere somebody has to start it. How are they going to start it? Either communication or the arrangement itself is a problem. We call it as a structure or the personal variable. I don't like somebody doesn't like me, and there is a possibility that the conflict can start. It goes, if, example, in one of the three, if the conflict is beginning, it goes on to the next level where it is called as a cognition and personalization. This is very important, guys, because if even if there is going to be a variance when it comes to understanding or everything, if we are going to think that, okay, let's move on, there is no possibility of a conflict to arise. So, what it needs is a cognition and personalization. How it can happen? One is the perceived conflict. I may be first thinking that, okay, I think what this guy says is wrong. Okay, so there is a perception which is actually going on, thinking, thought process which is going on. The other way is I'm actually feeling the conflict. So whether there is a perception or there is an actual feeling, in any case, if I'm not ignoring it, there is definitely a possibility of stage 2 of the conflict process, which is called as a cognition and personalization. The stage 3 is, okay, now I understood that, okay, there is a conflict. Okay, fine. Now, the next thing is I have to understand the intention behind this. It can be my own introspection or it can be a situational read, which you as a management consultant you can actually worry about. So, what are all the intentions that we can actually have? It can be because of competition. I feel other guy as a competition for me. It can be because of, say, some kind of a collaboration. Until unless like we until unless two people are going to work together, there is material that the conflict may arise or may not arise. So the second possibility is collaboration. The third is compromising. Somebody has to willfully compromise. In case that willfulness is not there, the problem of compromising is going to have a problem. And next is avoiding. Self-explanatory. When there is a group and one guy is alone, avoided for some reason, there is a possibility of conflict coming to an intention state. And accommodating. Unnecessary accommodation is also a problem. Accommodation when it comes to inefficiency is also a problem. So, what are all the intentions that we actually saw? First is competition, then comes collaboration, compromising, avoiding, and the final thing is accommodating. Okay, so now we know that there is definitely going to be a conflicting situation which has already arisen. The intentions are identified, and now the next step, what is the actual reciprocation of that? Okay, now it has come to this level. Somebody has to act something. Okay, then it becomes a human form. The act comes, the behavior comes. So the stage 4 of a conflict process is the behavior. So in the behavior section, okay, only two things are possible. One is the behavior of the person who has created it or a group which has created it, and the reaction towards that. So there is an action and there is a reaction. We can term it in two ways. One, we can say that the party's behavior and other person's reaction, or it is self behavior and very easily action and reaction. Okay, now whatever has to happen, it has happened. It is it now just visualize it in some way. If it is going to be something like a mob attack, just think what would be the severity of this stage 4. The action has happened. So which means the stress level, the situation is going to be in the extreme high. The party's action has been done, the reaction has been done. So the situation is extremely critical. What is the logical next outcome? So based on all these things, we saw two things. One is the functional conflict, dysfunctional conflict. So we also said the functional conflict can also affect in a positive way. So for a discussion sake, we are going to have the effect or the outcome. So the outcome can be either this increases the group performance, organization's performance, individuals' performance, or increases the increases or it increases the situation of the conflict which arises in a group or in between two people, whether it is dyadic, okay, intra group, inter group, we saw based on the loci of the conflict. So this is the outcome. Very easy, very easy. Can we just recollect it one more time? The stage 1 of the conflict, what conflict process, what you need is a source. You need some kind of a thing. So it is the potential opposition or incompatibility is required. Stage 2 is the cognition. Okay, you need will to create something. Stage 3 is intention. We saw what are all the intentions. First is the competition, collaboration, compromising, avoiding, accommodating. And then somebody has to act. So it is party's behavior and the reaction for it, others' reaction and the outcome. The outcome can be positive or the outcome can be negative. So this is basically the process of the conflict. So every single conflict that you are analyzing or you are facing, you can actually group it into such process. It can be post-mortem or it can be pre-planned for a framework for conflict management system. So this way, the understanding of the conflict is extremely clear. Okay. So what are all the things that we will have to understand it next? We are going to understand what is called as the dimensions of conflict handling intention. This is a self-explanatory picture. The picture will come in the screen as I am explaining. Okay. So it is a comparison of cooperativeness and assertiveness. It is almost like a graph matrix. Cooperativeness is basically amicable situation. Okay, no problem. Okay, I will adjust to you. Assertiveness means no, my way has to go. So it is like my way or a highway. So we will take the cooperativeness in the x-axis, assertiveness in the y-axis as the image is given, and we will actually see how the cooperativeness either from 0 to 10, uncooperative, completely cooperative, unassertive, completely assertive. Just think of x and y. So if it is going to be uncooperative and unassertive, what happens is the situation is not going to be easy or it is not going to be this thing. Either you will avoid the situation and get out, or somebody will try to cooperate either in will or in coerciveness, either by yourself or somebody will force you to cooperate. Okay. What is the other thing? Uncooperative but highly assertive. So what happens? It means that both the parties are not willing to cooperate, but both the parties are also saying that no, 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 nothing doing. It is my own choice which has to come. So which means there is no way that this particular conflict will see an end. Compromising positions? Absolutely not. Somebody has to compromise. But if both of them are assertive, both of them are uncooperative, there is no way that this is going to end. Situation number 3. Let us say the cooperativeness is very, very high. Both of them are cooperative, but both of them are unassertive. Okay. Which means that he will say that one person will say, that, okay, no problem, we will go your way. The other person will say, okay, okay, no, no, it's okay, we will go your way. So what happens is that is where the accommodating thing comes in the picture. Okay. Remember, remember what the intention stage of the conflict. What are all the things that we saw? Competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating. So compromising is basically the middle of everything. Somebody will compromise. Okay. Somebody will be assertive, somebody will be uncooperative, and so somebody will say, okay, fine, we will go your way this time. And think of a situation where they are all cooperative and at the same time they are all very assertive. And there comes a beautiful model of collaboration. Each of them have a very compelling ideas of themselves. Assertive. They are all very, very assertive. But they are also willing to be cooperative. And that is basically gives you the collaboration act. So why are we actually looking at this graph right now? What is the use for this? You can actually, in case there is a conflict and you are tracking the conflict, okay, you can plot where exactly the conflict is, and your ultimate aim is to push either towards accommodating or towards collaborating. That is the intention. Wherever it is, whether it is competing, whether it is avoiding, whether it is compromising, a role of a entrepreneur, a role of a startup entrepreneur or a managing director or a consultant is to push the situation towards accommodating or collaborating, which is basically moving from a dysfunctional point of view towards a functional point of view. So in this way, we will be able to understand the conflict process system, how it is happening, why it is happening, what are all the parameters which are involved when it comes to the initiation, intention, what are all the intentions, what are all the cognition going behind this, and we also know what is the end result, how towards which direction we should be pushing into this particular subject. So if we have to go one level deeper into it, what is the impact of it? What is the functional outcomes of it? We can actually put it in this way. The conflict intensity can actually happen from no conflict, which is the basic, to extreme high conflict. Okay. So let us understand there is absolutely no conflict, which is the base zero level, and the base on the infinity level is the annihilatory conflict, which is like out of control. Okay. So from here to here, how it actually goes. Just think about it as a story. I'll just tell you the steps you will automatically get the story with. So first there will be a minor disagreement, there will be a minor misunderstanding, and you can control it at this point itself. Possibility of very less conflict is this level. Okay, we somebody has not stopped it right here. What is the next step? Somebody will start questioning the other guy, other system or group. So questioning will start, the challenging will start, which is we saw that like this thing, and then it moves on to the attack level. There will be a verbal attack, there will be an attack based on action, there will be attack based on some kind of a perception. This can stop right there. Again, if that conflict is not stopped there, what happens next? This is the action, the reaction will come. How will the reaction will come? It can be threats, it can be ultimatums, it can be disintegration, it can be formation of an internal groups. Again, if it is not stopped at that level, what is the next level? It goes to the physical attacks. When I say physical attacks, like do not immediately think to a level where like people are going to just pull up their shirts and then start fighting. Intellectual fights is there. The project will get stopped. Okay, there will be some kind of a complete tit for tat things which will go, and the annihilatory level, the final level, what happens? The negative level, the utmost negative level, it will just destroy the other party. Because in a conflict, please understand, there is no win-win situation at all in a conflict. If you want a win-win situation, you have to curtail the conflict in the first level itself. When there is a misunderstanding, you will have to stop it then and there. Otherwise, either one wins. So it is very, very destructive if conflict is not managed properly. What is the other thing that we will have to worry about this thing? Conflict. Is the conflict resolution technique is there? Is it possible for us, as I said, is it possible for us to build a conflict resolution matrix, or is it possible to conflict understanding framework? Yes, it is possible. As a management consultant, as a strategic consultant, I have done the conflict understanding system and a resolution system for various organizations. We explore the possibilities where all the conflict may arise, and we also provide a fix for each of them. It can be problem solving, it can be superior subordinate goals, avoidance, smoothing, compromise, authoritative command, altering the human variable. It can be in a very, very form. It can be in a different form. How you can actually resolve a conflict is up to. I'm not going to ponder upon that, because it may look like there is a specific way in which a conflict can be resolved. It is not like that. Every situation is different, and every situation calls for a different technique also, how it can be resolved. Okay, so this is basically where we have understood the conflict. What are all the types of the conflict? How the conflict can be understood as a process? What is the loci of the conflict? The locus, the problem center of the conflict, how it, and we have also understood the stages in which the rapid increase of the intensity of the conflict. Okay, so how the conflict can be resolved, that we have already seen. If you note that like we have actually understood the process of negotiation in a much deeper way when we saw how a bargain or a negotiation will begin. So the end of this particular video is actually the start of the negotiation process or the bargaining process. So to wrap it up, this masterclass we dealt with what is a conflict, what are all the types of conflict, based what is the loci of the conflict. We understood what are all the process of the conflict, process involved in the conflict, how the conflict rapidly intensifies from no zone to a very high zone, and we also saw a matrix where how we can take the current situation of this conflict and push towards a favorable position. So in this masterclass you would have understood and mastered the understanding and resolution of conflict. So, during the resolution process, you will have to understand the negotiation techniques. We have already discussed in length in previous masterclass about the negotiation technique. I will give link of that negotiation technique video in this, and you can click the above link for understanding the process of negotiation. I hope this masterclass was very useful for you and you would have learned how to understand and how to describe a conflict. I will meet you all in my next masterclass. Until then, it was wonderful giving you this quality material, original material to you. I hope I can meet you again in my next video. Until then, be happy, be safe. Thank you very much.